Hey there folks, and welcome back to the channel. I'm just outside my shop right now, and as you can see, there's a bunch of snow on the ground, and our trails have been open up for about a week. So I figure it's about time we can get to work on the 82 Liquifire, because I've been just procrastinating on it terribly, and we'll see if we can get that thing riding today. There's three main things we got to do to it today. First off, last year I kind of crashed it into a little creek, and I went over the windshield. Nothing was really broken. I was okay, but I did smash up the windshield pretty bad, so that's going to have to be replaced. I've got a new one of those right away. And I also bent the hood hinge, so the entire hood is like sitting back a little too far. So we'll have to take the entire hood off and straighten that out. We're also going to have to change the flywheel out. I've got a new one off of a different liquefier. This one, if we remember from a previous video, if you haven't watched it, when I got this snowmobile, the nut holding the flywheel on was actually loose. And so what that did was it wore on the taper in the flywheel. And basically now it won't stay tight. So I've got a new flywheel we'll put on there. But I think we'll get this hood fixed first, so let's get into that. This part is fairly easy, but if we come down here and look at the hinge, you can see how bent that is. That's all supposed to be flat. So I'll just take that off of there, we'll put it in the vise and kind of pound it back to where it should be. Taking the windshield off is going to be pretty easy. As you can see, it's just held in by these little tabs on the side, and those tabs just fasten in with a little rubber O-ring. We're going to be doing something different other than an O-ring, so I'm just going to take and snip all of these off. And we're actually missing a couple already. There you go. And this is garbage. Well, if this goes according to plan, the hood's going to end up on the seat. Here's number 2. Well, I guess this is going to have to do. That went better in my head. Guess I'll just have to take this little leash off and then we can toss it back further. Got the hood hinge off and I'm over at the vise. Looking at it, I don't think it's bent anywhere up here. Luckily, it's just this part that's supposed to be flat that it mounts to. So let's kind of take and put it in here and make it flat. That's pretty good. Might do it just a little bit more. Couple love taps with the hammer. Alright. Then for this side, same sort of thing. Just press it back flat. Yeah, not much to it. Well, with the hood hinge done, now we can move on to the really fun part of changing the flywheel. And we can see that there's no engine plate underneath this one. That's because it's held on with this bracket, and there's another bolt in the back that also holds it up. So in order to take the flywheel out, we have to remove this bracket, otherwise the ring gear won't get past it. That means we need to support the engine somehow. And last time I did this, I just took this inner tube and shoved it up under here, inflated it, and that worked like a charm. So I think I'm going to do that again. Then we can get to taking all this stuff off. Now we can get a good look at how loose this flywheel is. And that's all because the little taper in there is just shot. Yeah, look at this. It's just completely loose, and that's just from the flywheel working back and forth. So might as well just take that off right now. And right now is the point where I just realized how big of a job this actually is. So if you want to watch the rest of the video on what I did for this, I'll link it like right about here. So this is where I'm currently at. You can see it's pretty far apart. Carb's airbox had to come off. The lower coolant hose actually is all off, so I had to drain the coolant out of it. The entire side is off. I had to disconnect electrical. Yeah, this is just a lot more involved than I thought, but we're getting there. Progress update. The carbs are back on, airbox is back on. I refilled it with radiator fluid, and now I've just got to torque on the new flywheel. So I'll get that on to 60 foot-pounds. All right, here goes 60 foot-pounds. Good. I can take and crimp these in. And that shouldn't go anywhere. I'll finish getting the rest of this exhaust on and my recoil, and then we'll fire it up, see if we hear some rattling. Well, here we go. So that's cool. It's always nice when you take something apart and put it back together. It works the first time. Now I think we can put our hood back on. As you can see, I even washed it. What a treat. So the trick to this is going to be get it on here without totally dropping it and breaking it. And it is easier with, a helper. I do not have that luxury today. I find it easiest to just kind of go for it. Alrighty, now that we got the hood on and the cable keeping it up, we can put the headlight back in and we'll move on to our windshield. Now we can take our new windshield out of the plastic carefully. Nice. What are these things? Oh, they come with the little O-rings. We're not doing that. Whew. That's nice. And I'll just set it on here with the tabs going through. That looks nice. I did go with the Kimpex windshield for this one. It's a little bit more money, but I think it's a lot higher quality. They're just made thicker polycarbonate, and because of that, it won't fold down at high speeds like the snow stuff ones like to do. And now instead of using those little O-rings, I'm just going to take some zip ties and come in here and go around each little tab. Hopefully without the windshield falling out. And lock it into place. Also, one of the times I was just rolling around on the floor looking at the suspension, I noticed that we're missing this bolt right here, and the idler shaft actually popped up, so we're gonna have to like throw a bolt in that. All right, get back in there. Oh, what are we doing here? Well, this got a little bit more involved than I had thought as well. Basically, I just couldn't pry it up, and I did get it back in, but I made an unfortunate discovery of that tube is bent. You can see compared to that red one, it's got a little bit of a radius going on to it. We'll just kind of pretend we didn't see that and shove it back in and just put that on the list of projects for next summer. You know, sometimes this makes a feller question his hobbies just a little bit. Why is this such a pain sled to work on? It's not even that fast. Oh, too far. Bring her back. No? Okay, there we go. For putting the suspension back in, I like to use a little floor jack. You shove it under here and watch the bolt hole. And, yeah, makes it pretty easy. Doesn't get any simpler than that. Well, even though it's looking good and ready to go, there's no place to go. So unfortunately, we had about a week of rain and it's in the 50s now. Not really rideable weather. So we kind of missed our opportunity with this sled. Cross our fingers. Hopefully we get more snow this year because it's only February, right? But if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.